Hey Advanced CSS, this is Casey Shear and we're creating shapes today. So for my shape I had created a shield and I tried to do a fancy shield so it had some bits and pieces. Pre-warning is I have some of my stuff zoomed in for you guys so you can read it, but means I have less screen space to showcase stuff, so it'll take a little bit more scrolling, so bear with me. So a quick breakdown, we'll go with HTML. I have 6 objects, basically 3 that are duplicated to create the inner and the outer. I have the regular shield, which is the heart shape that was created in the tutorial. I have the midsection, which is pretty simple, and the shield holes are the concave sections. And then that's duplicated to create the outer and inner layers. So we'll start with the heart shape. Just a quick example is we can just change the colors to red to showcase that heart. And let's take our silver and do a z index of -1 to make that go away. Just so you guys can see what we're talking about. There we go. Okay, so we did the heart shape, which we created before. We just took one image and duplicated it and rotated them different directions. Pretty simple. It was created in the example, so you should all have pretty good access to that, but we can see the shape there. One's rotated to the right, one's rotated to the left. It uses the border radius to do the top part, or the left and top right. But pretty easy, pretty easy. Let's change those back, get rid of that, and get rid of those z indexes. Let's see, they were -1. Hard part was just getting this all to match up right. So there we go. So the next part is the midsection, which we will do green. Yeah. The midsection is pretty easy. It's just a big square, and then we just had to line it up and make it the right size with the heart. You can have it lay over the heart or under the heart if you want to give it a z-index to make it all work. But either way, it doesn't really matter. The z-index really just matters for the inner layer and our little concave pieces. So that's pretty easy. Just a simple rectangle to match with in there. You can make it longer or shorter, depending on the size of your shield you exactly want. Next part was the concaves. I couldn't find anything to make negative border radius. I didn't try, I guess, though. See what happens if we do it right now. Oh, it makes that. Yeah. I can't really find much about it, so to make my concave pieces, I used squares and just basically overlapped the pieces already there. I just made little circles, again, using the thing we learned before to duplicate the same piece, duplicate them, and then move one over to the other side. Let me make that blue. So yeah, you just duplicate it and then just give it a left and align it up right. The lining can be a little tricky unless you're, counting pixels. What I did was I lined it up and I lined it over until a little bit of the black in the image before showed up. I did that for both, and that gave me a standard to go by. Then I moved one over till I liked it, and let's say I moved it over 7 pixels. I'm like, oh, I can just move the other one over 7 pixels in the other direction to give you, so that way they're even and they match up right. Let's turn that back to white. I said white, there we go. So that's pretty easy. If you want to change it not be quite so square, try 10 or even 7, to give it a different look, you could do that and that would work as well. I like the more roundness, makes it look neat. For that one you will need a z-index, just something, this one will have to be the highest because there's other circles there have to go over, so I made mine 3, but I mean you can make it 2 and the other one 1, whatever works. So then we have to do that all over again and make it smaller. A general rule, I tried to make mine about 20% smaller. It might not be, but I just, the width was 50, I minus 10 from it. height was 70, I minus 14 from it, so on and so forth. It may not be perfect, and some of the stuff I might have not gotten exactly, but that's what I tried doing, is just making about 20% less, and then just hand adjusting the rest of it to make it fit. So again, the silver here, we have the heart shape, as you can see, right there is red, and then if we copy that to here and make it blue, you can see the shape again. It's just a little bit smaller, and then we had to realign it all, just mess with the different numbers and stuff to make it match up perfectly. Again, we just have a square. Let's see, right here. Our second midsection. So if we make that green, for example, and let's give it a z-index of 10, just for fun. You can see it's just a rectangle, square, whatever. Might not actually be a square. No, it's 62 by 65. It's a rectangle. And our other one is, yeah, a rectangle as well. Pretty almost squares, but little bit off. So that's pretty easy to see. So let's give her that z-index, and then let's turn this back to silver. The main thing there was just getting it to line up. I adjusted the left-hand side on both of them to line up with the heart. I made them go down a bit so it'll be match up, and then I just resized it until it got to the right spot. Not too hard. And then I did relative, so it's relative to its spot, and then just moved it down with the top to make it get the right spot, top and left. You can do a negative top, which moves it down. A positive top would move it up. It's probably way gone. Let's do, oops, like 5. Well, I don't know where it is. 105. Anyways, we'll put it back. It's probably off screen. And then again, the holes, we just did the same thing and just resized them so they're 20 pixels versus 25. And see how this was the key thing is here, these ones had to be under those other ones, because if they were above and you had them be black, you would have gotten some Mickey Mouse ears going on, and that would look weird and just not right. So you want it to be under the other ones, which can be 2. If you want to set everything else to like 1s and 2s and get it all good, you can. If you want to rearrange it in the CSS so it orders it right, you could do that. I took the easy route and just put some z-indexes to align it myself, so I knew it would work right. But that's my shield. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope your guys' turned out well as well.